So you saw that President Trump signed like 50 11 executive orders on his first 24 hours in the office, back in the office. And you knew that there was bound to be some backlash, some pushback, even from the laws, the courts, because some of the things may not be constitutional, what have you. So here's the first one with the birthright citizenship. Let's hit it.
The president also learning moments ago a federal judge has blocked his executive order to end birthright citizenship. That judge calling the order unconstitutional. Here's ABC's Christian Cordero with the latest.
It was the centerpiece of his campaign, cracking down on illegal immigration. And today,
Birthright. That's a big one.
A key part of President Trump's agenda facing its first test in court. A judge in Seattle blocking Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship before it goes into effect. Opponents to the executive order, including the 4 states behind this lawsuit, argue the president doesn't have the authority to change the conditions around birthright citizenship, and that birthright citizenship itself is protected under the 14th Amendment.
The 14th Amendment protects the rights of every American citizen.
How about we read the 14th Amendment real quick, just that little part, right? I got my constitutional reader here. And it reads, you go down to the amendment, let's see, Amendment 14, ratified July 9th, 1868. And it reads, Section 1, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And we know what law can do. We know how law can change. Nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So, 14th Amendment is for the citizens of the United States. And from what I read, I don't know if I read it there. No, but anyway, from what I read, you have to have 2/3 of Congress to ratify an amendment in the Constitution, which would be hard to do because I don't know the last time there was 2/3 of Congress to change anything, especially something like this, because you got the Democrats who just, want them sun guns to continue to flood, can to flood the country for whatever reason. So presidential wise, I don't really see this, being upheld like his executive order. But I do think I know a way around it. I think he knew that was going to happen, but I think there's a way around it. And a lot of people are going to hate that even more. But let's continue.
No matter their ancestry.
But the new administration's Department of Justice argues the 14th Amendment does not include children of undocumented immigrants because the parents, when here illegally, are not subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S.
This is about ensuring the citizenship, a cornerstone of our national identity. It is protected, respected, and aligned with the principles upon which this country was built.
So basically they're saying, hey, if you over here illegally, then your kids should not have citizenship, which is true. Now, I couldn't understand why Congress couldn't agree on that. But again, when you, for some strange reason, want to flood the country with these people, I don't know.
On the southern border today, the first of 1,500 active duty Army soldiers and Marines set to arrive to help detect and monitor illegal border crossings. But some local officials say they don't need the help.
And we don't need troops along our border here because it's very safe.
The military will also be used to build new barriers along the border.
If it was so safe, you wouldn't have millions of people. Never mind.
Provide air power for deportations. The Pentagon says the military will not participate in law enforcement. Border Patrol will lead that effort. A senior defense official tells ABC News this is just the start.
It was really an invasion. We will not allow our territory to be violated.
And Trump could sign his first piece of legislation soon. The Laken Riley Act passed with some bipartisan support. The bill, named for the 22-year-old Georgia nursing student killed by an undocumented migrant, requires DHS to detain undocumented migrants charged with crimes like theft and assaulting a police officer.
So you saw that, and I feel that the way that you can get around that is, like I say, people are not going to like it, is you tell them. You tell these parents, these illegal migrants who came to this country to have kids, or people who are not citizens of the United States. Now, it's like I say, countries, there are other countries. Most countries don't have this. I don't know any other country. I've looked it up, but I don't know any other country who have this birthright citizenship, the way the United States has interpreted it. The 14th Amendment was for mainly descendants of slaves when it wasn't trying to give them full citizenship. I mean, that's just it, point blank. Like I said before, you had some people like maybe from Asian countries who was here, working on the railroads or whatever else they was doing, pretty much, indentured servants, pretty much. And they had kids, who came here, who were born here, grew up here, raised here, and they were trying to deny them citizenship too because their parents weren't citizens here. But like I said, those are different. So things just can't be black and white. Law is not black and white, man. You can interpret the law in the way you want to. I mean, it's done all the time. But anyway, to fast forward to 2025, if you want to kind of get people to do right, just say, hey, okay, your child is a citizen. Your child can stay here, but you got to go back. You got to be detained, or you got to be deported. I know what I'm saying. Now matter of fact, you can take a child with you. Yeah, they'll be citizens. They can still have citizenship here, but they won't be raised here. And y'all might think that's kind of harsh, and what about the, putting kids in orphanage and foster care, and then the taxpayers having to pay this? Man, let me tell you something. Sometimes, so you got to take L's. There's casualties of war. As a matter of fact, even you say they can be a citizen, but their mama choose to take them back, most times their mama gonna take them back with them back to the country they're from, and they can have U.S. citizenship, and that's fine. But the thing, what's funny is that happens all the time. Did a story maybe a month or two back where a guy, his family got deported back to Mexico, or where they're from, because he missed like a citizenship court case or whatever, and they got deported. Well, I'm like, he said he wanted his kids back, and I'm sitting here like, well, shoot, yo, two babies, they're citizens. Why didn't they stay? They didn't stay because that mama didn't want to be without them babies. So if that's the case, if you feel that so bad about it, why don't you go back with them? You see what I'm saying? Now it's almost like that wasn't even an option, which it is an option. You got choices. You got options. Sorry, you selfishly put the kids in this, using the kids for your ill-gotten gains. And so now the children are going to have to quote unquote suffer. But I mean, hey, you chose that. You chose that. So, but like I say, most of the time, but anyway, with that case, that dude you can tell he did not grow up here. He was a citizen here, probably went back and forth, because when they had a press conference with his lawyer, that son gun and was on the news, that son gun couldn't even speak English. So that lets me know you were raised in a Mexican household. So who raised you? Most likely your parents, who are still in Mexico. And then it was time for you to come and work and make money. They said, go to Texas, go to America, you can make money. Building houses, cutting yards, this, that, and the third. And so that's how the situation is. So like I said, they do it all the time. So just because now they were doing it freely, now you about to make them, have the same energy, stick to their guns on that one. Now everybody got a problem. But y'all got to understand, man. When you let people in to your house, put it on the personal level, then you can think about it on a national level. When you bring people into your house who don't give the ROI, the return on investment doesn't match up to your favor. and they are not really putting in on the bills. They might put in a few dollars, but hell, if your mortgage is $2,000-3,000, your electric bill is $100-something, cable bill $100-something, water bill $100-something, electric bill a couple of $100, water bill a couple of $100, and $200-300 in the summertime. They only give you like maybe $100-200 a month. Yeah, that helps a little bit, but shoot, that ain't knocking out a whole lot. You said the return on investment doesn't match. And then too, you still feeding them, clothing them, they living under your roof, but they're not even paying rent prices. The ROI, and they never prosper, never do better in life. And even if they leave, they keep still asking and need stuff from you. The ROI just doesn't make sense. Now, multiply that on a national level. Most of these folks, especially when they rounding up, are detrimental to the country. It's going to mess around and break the country. Just like those that come and stay in your house, if they continue to do what they've always done and don't change, they're going to break your house. I mean, financially, they're going to break it financially and emotionally to where it's going to destroy the house. That's the same thing that happened here. So eventually, like in all cases, you got to stop the bleeding. Got to stop the bleeding. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you would like to support financially, you can give super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and go to that description box. There are links there you can click on to help us there. And also don't forget to hit that shop button. We got products that we know that you will love. But with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.